Well, this was really startling news that happened early this morning. A judge ordering that an American college student accused of murdering her roommate while she was at school in Italy should be retried. Knox responding this morning saying, quote, "It was painful to receive the news that the Italian Supreme Court decided to send my case back for revision when the prosecution's theory of my involvement in Meredith's murder has been repeatedly revealed to be completely unfounded and unfair." She and her former boyfriend were released from prison back in 2011. She spent 4 years behind bars. And after appeals court threw out her conviction, slamming the prosecution's handling of both the evidence and the case. Here's what she had to say then.
What's important for me to say is just thank you to everyone who's believed in me, who's defended me, who's supported my family. I just want, my family's the most important thing to me right now, and I just want to go and be with them.
And so is her freedom. She got the heck out of there back to Seattle. Meg Strickler is an attorney and chair of the International Bar Association's Criminal Law Committee, and it's great to have you here, Meg. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you represented Amanda Knox right now, what would you do?
Well, right now, the good news is Amanda's safe and home in the United States in Seattle. The good news is she can stay there. And what I would do is fight and fight hard to keep her there. And she can stay there as we go through all the different appellate issues at this point. Meaning, if the Italian Supreme Court wants to then retry this case, in other words, send it back to the trial division and retry it, and then if it's lost, and then if they appeal that decision, only then can Italian courts can say, hey, bring Amanda Knox over here. Only then, and then we can fight extradition at that point. So we've got years and years to wait while all this legal wrangling goes on. And Amanda Knox, thankfully, can stay in Seattle versus an Italian jail.
The reports are that there's no new evidence, that the prosecutor, although she was acquitted, has decided to retry the case, and they could do it in absentia without her ever appearing in court. Who does she need on her side here in the United States? Does she need the administration? Does she need the State Department? Does she just need counsel, or can she ignore it altogether?
Well, no, she can't ignore it because she is part of that trial. But as you just stated, the case, the trial can be tried in absentia. In other words, she can be here in the United States. When the administration will get involved is when the extradition were to be ordered. That is, I'm telling you, a couple of years off if it were to happen. Understand, this is not a very good case to begin with. It was acquitted on appeal. So I don't think it's going to happen, but if it were to, it'd be a couple of years from now because they have to return it back, try the case on appeal, try the case at trial stage, then win it, and then win it on appeal.
But
and only then can they order extradition.
We have not reviewed, you and I, the entire file or case or all the evidence or lack of evidence or, as they said, possible sabotaging of evidence. How would we feel right now as attorneys and also as Americans if it were the other way around? If an Italian citizen had come here, this happened, they went back to Italy, do you think we'd feel the same as sending an American back into that courtroom?
Well, what happens, and thankfully we have relations internationally with all the different countries that we have extradition treaties with and whatnot. They're international treaties that meant to treat all citizens fairly. So right now we're letting the Italian law go through what they need to do. But I hear what your question is, which is how would we feel about our American citizen being over there or vice versa, an Italian citizen being treated here? That's why we have treaties, so that human beings are treated fairly. Ultimately, we will fight it if all through that she loses.
Okay.
I think, as we all know, it's not a very strong case, hence why she is in Seattle, not an Italian jail.
Okay, but bottom line, the laws in Italy, I mean, think about it. She's acquitted. If she's acquitted here, any defendant acquitted here can't be tried a second time. It's called double jeopardy. We don't have it. You're an international lawyer. Is Italian law just screwy that way?
No, no, no. She was convicted. Remember, she spent 4 years in jail.
Right, but then they threw it out.
The conviction was returned, acquitted.
Overturned.
Exactly. Exactly. So that can happen here, too, if the prosecution wants to fight something. But the thing you're talking about is a double jeopardy clause. If they lose on trial level here in the United States, you can't retry it. Over. You're acquitted. No double jeopardy here. Doesn't happen. But understand, the Italian courts, screwy is kind of a strong word. I don't think that's how it is. But you can tell just how they drive. It's the same way. It's just different.
Thanks for confirming that, Meg. Great to meet you. Thank you so much. Big story today. Bill?
What a stunner that must have been for her waking up today.